Hi. This is just a little quickie, kind of follow up on what I've already posted. I've got a flower here that I've worked with before, so I'm kind of familiar with it. And unfortunately, it would be make the best video if I was working from a photo so you could see what I was seeing. But my printer's not happy with me right now, so that's not going to happen. Okay, so I'm going to bend this thing where I can see it and tell it to stay put. Ha ha ha. Okay. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, so I'm just going to do a small one here at the top of this page. And I've got these brushes that I've fallen in love with. I've got some orange mixed up, which is just Quin Coral and New Gamboge. And I'll use a little New Gamboge on the side here too. So here we go. So here's what I'm proposing that you make a habit of doing. You could do these on little cards or something and just get playful with them and do a lot of them. Not necessarily saying this certain flower or anything, but what I'm saying is this kind of work will really sharpen your skills a lot. Even if you're working from something that's carefully drawn, that you're going to do just so, you'll like the results of your work better after you work like this a while. Other things will just do better. So what I'm doing is I'm painting in kind of the overall shape of this, and I might work sort of one petal at a time. But if I do that way, because I've noticed a lot of the people that I'm painting this with are doing this. You notice I've left some twinkles in here, by the way. So this petal is a little different, but I'm going to let them merge for now. So you can see I'm dropping little extra bits of paint in some places. And oh, this one goes choo-choop. Drop a little extra water in there. I mean, a little extra paint, make it a little stronger. I love to see where that yellow is merging into the other paint and pushing some of it back. And let's do a little up there. See, this is all real wet. This is a real wet brush. Something that I want to have happen here on purpose. This plant actually has, this lily, has 6 petals, and 2 of them are kind of thinner and they're bent back. And then, 3 of them, and 3 of them are larger and fatter, but this fat one is turned sideways. Oh, I think I'll make that a little fatter. There we go. Let's drop a little yellow in there. Okay, and we got one more. And it's kind of doing that. And going back in there, who knows? A little more orange somewhere, maybe. You know, I'm not pleased with the shapes on this. And I rarely ever am. Well, yes, sometimes I am. But I can live with that. So let's put in some, I kind of like to start out with blue and then add the yellows to it. But let's get a leaf out here that's going to come back in here. And oh dear, well, my stem's not coming out where I thought I saw the stem go. And here's the thing, I didn't want this to be this big. Really didn't. Okay, so it's just a cute little flower. Let's put a little yellow in there. I'm going to go ahead with the New Gamboge, which does not make the greatest greens because it's got a lot of red in it, but I think I just will. And then I think I'm going to pull in some kind of pinks in here. Again, see, it's still wet because I'm working soupy. And still not loose looking enough. Now, you understand this is your first layer, but let's drop some water in and make some blots even. Loosen up some edges. Should have done this while it was going on because this has really gone into that paper pretty fast. Just want to loosen up some of those. Oh, there we go. See, that's a nice. I think I'll trail that one off. Yeah, there. See, it looks a little dreamier. It's a little less well-defined, and that kind of gives it a certain look. Okay, that could be a start. Now, I've got one. Oh, dear. I guess I'm going to have to show drawing one, too. Okay, let's do that. So let's scoot it up here. Now I'm going to draw it down here, which means I have to have tape. And here's what I have to do. Here's my magic pencil, I guess. Anyway, it's a watercolor pencil, and I thought it was black. I'm not even sure. I'm going to put it to soaking in the jar of water. See there? Okay. Let's tape this down. And let's do another one. I'm going to draw this one. Now, you could draw before or after. I think it's easier to put the flower in this way. Come back and draw on top of it. I think this is an easier way to get it in. Drawing can be a little bit intimidating sometimes, but I really enjoy it, so I'm going to show it. And some of you will take this on. You know, this is multi-level challenges. You can probably see my water droplets because the water is dirty, which is great. Okay. I don't know if the pencil's been wet quite long enough. What I want to do is soften that lead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start. Oh, yeah, that's plenty soft. And here's what I like. I like some of those lines to be really just barely there, but they're really wet. The pencil's really damp, and so it's soft. And so later, the lines aren't going to spread. But also, I happen to personally like that look. So this is the same flower. It may not look anything like it, but I haven't repositioned it, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Same flower. There's a gazillion of them like it because they're all Hobby Lobby flowers. Manufactured in China, I suppose. Which means that Hobby Lobby can still make a profit off of them. Okay, here's another big the other fat petal. Oh, it comes around this way. My goodness. I'm going to dampen my pencil a little more. And I'm going to come over here. Okay, there's my drawing. I like that. And we'll make that leaf come out here and let it flip, this one flip like that. I don't know if I'm going to put a stem on this. Okay, so there's that flower. So that's kind of the way I draw them in. Now, here's one that was drawn and painted. And I still don't have the center stamens in. And what I was going to show you, where'd it go? Okay, let's go and do something like this to it. So, you see all the stuff, and you see where I cut it out? See, I think that's great fun. But this one, I did mask the stamens ahead. But something like this, with a little bit of pattern and, you know, this asymmetrical treatment, you know, with the double border and everything, it just really adds a lot. And this one, I spent more time on, obviously. This is a demo, and it's meant to be fast. So let's see. Let's put some stamens on this. And you notice I already put the little dots in here because this thing has little dots on it. Little dots make great design. So I could make the stamens come out and do whatever I want. I like to make them a little bit straggly and wandering around. You know, maybe that's enough. And I'd like to get that center a little darker in there. Okay, there. Now let's see. What if we made a border and it came down this way and, oh dear. Well, I may just cut part of this off. Oh, I don't know if I want to go through that and let it stick out or not. I'll definitely cut this off. And then I might just double up that border. And you can tell this is a hand-drawn border, which is kind of what I want it to be. I think I'm going to make that line get a little thick right there and run into the petal. Maybe I'll do that here too. Just like to do that. You know, you do what you like to do. This is just a suggestion of how I might handle it. Okay. I'm gonna come up this way. I guess I'm getting rid of this leaf, and I do like that leaf. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing yet. Alrighty, so the other thing that I like to do is tear these out. It's gonna be a little hard with all this up here. I can't get my hand around it. So I'm going to cut part of this out and come back. Okay, so here we are, and I've got that trimmed out, and I just like to tear. You can tear two different ways too. If I tear it like this and pull the side that I'm not keeping up, I will get a ragged edge that shows. See, I'm keeping my thumb down there to make it tear where I want it to tear, which I don't think I've made up my mind quite where I tore that off so you could see what I was doing. See my thumb there? So I can have a little torn edge that actually shows. You can tear it the other way, pulling down, and not have that edge there, but still have a torn edge. I like a torn edge. Oh, now I've got a fat torn edge. Your paper needs to be really dry when you do this. Let's see if I can tear around this petal here. Sure can, just by putting my thumb there. Now this is 140-pound paper, which is a lot easier to tear. I do use it with 300-pound though. It's a different effect, and it can look really good. So, you know, I don't like that shape. No, I don't like that. I think this needs to come up. So the thing about something like this is you can take one of your loose paintings, which wasn't in its own maybe a great painting, and you're just playing and practicing, which is what I want you to do. But you can turn it into something that you can still use. If this gets too wide for my hands, then I can't do much with it. Oh. Okay. So maybe something like that. I don't know. I might get rid of this thing. You could see this one. I put these little squiggly things and some extra dots in there, which I love those. I think that this one might actually be too busy with that. I think instead that I would do a little bit more detail in here on the flower. But see, you could take this and stick it on a card. Maybe something that had some color to it, you know, or a colored piece of paper, and stick that on there so this shows up. I think it'd be really cool. So, and I'm playing with the idea of us doing a little bit of collaging with some of these pieces, maybe putting some parts together. I have, let's see, I have some extras over here, because I have more. I guess I should show these. I had some others that I had done. See this one, if you look at this flower, I mean this flower is a little piece of nothing really. And it's kind of grayed and stuff, and I kind of like it. I used a little bit of pencil there, watercolor pencil too, I think. And that's watercolor pencil. But after I did all that stuff to it, I really like it. This is something where I was doing an exercise out of the Shirley Trevena book, but it was about breaking, you know, taking a pattern, a simple pattern, but breaking it up and putting, you know, a background in around it to make it better, a lot better. That one, that one, I don't know what I would do with. Oh, okay, now I see the flower. Maybe if that some of that was trimmed off and something else was done with it. See, a thing like this. I did a thing like this to maybe go with something like this. Thought I had a, oh, here it is. I have an orange one here. This might go with this better. But, you know, little things can be put in the back of some of this. I don't know exactly, but a person could collage something like that onto a card, a big card. I guess a really big card. You know, that could make the front of a greeting card. It could look really, you know, just glued down to look really good. So what I'm saying is that some of these little things, if you look at this as a painting of a flower, it's really kind of bad. But when you do this stuff with it and play with it, all of a sudden it's art. So that's another excuse for playing with these, and then you still haven't wasted them. But you're also learning. The main thing is you're learning, you're building skill. Okay, you're building skill and confidence painting this way. Okay, that's it. Bye.